Susan Cingari here from Must Love MMA, where every fighter has a story. And each week on my YouTube channel, I bring you those unique and exciting stories from the world of combat sports. So what the heck are you waiting for? Please subscribe. Joining me today is the hardest working fight promoter in the business, BKFC President David Feldman. How are you tonight, Dave?
I'm doing great, Susan. How are you?
I'm good. We have a lot to talk about. Let's first start with the BKFC 12 card. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, it's going to be a sensational card. Topping it off, we have American Top Team's own former UFC contender for about 14 years. I think he was in the UFC and looked sharper than he ever did. Thiago Alves will be battling Phil Baroni. Phil Baroni, a lot of people have question marks about him, but I know that he's training really hard in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He's training with some really good camps there. He's getting good nutrition and he's training good. So that should be one hell of a fight. Then we have Hector Lombard, who wants to get hit by Hector Lombard with the bare knuckle? Nobody. But Kendall Grove's going to find out what that feels like on September 11th. And then we have a great undercards. Lorenzo Hunt is fighting Eric Lozano. We have some really good guys. Great women's fight. Callie Cutler versus Christine Vieira. Just so many fights on this card that are really tremendous. Tampa's own firefighter Jared Warren. He's going to be fighting one of Valor Bare Knuckles fighters, Josh Dyer. It's going to be one hell of a fight. We've got some really great fights that night. And to top it all off, we're going to be celebrating America. There's good and bad in everything, and there's good cops, there's bad cops, there's good doctors, there's bad doctors, right? But we're going to celebrate everything that's good about America. The heroes that that risked their life and ultimately gave it all 19 years ago when America was bombarded by a terrorist attack. And we're going to stand very proud as being very pro-America. We're not being pro-right or pro-left or pro-white or pro-black. We're being pro-America. We are Americans. We're in the greatest country in the world, and we're going to let everybody know and beat our chest that night that we love the United States of America.
That's so inspiring, Dave, and I can't wait to see that because, it was a terrible time in our history, and I was actually covering that story, so it kind of touches my heart very well.
Right.
So, all right, it looks like you had a great reception at the tryouts. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's something that we're going to be doing monthly. It's going to work really threefold for us. It's going to get bare knuckle known in different territories that they aren't known right now. Number two is we're obviously going to find some real good up-and-coming young talent and some talent that's been around. We actually had former world boxing champion at the tryouts. DeMarcus Chop Chop Corley was there. So there's a lot of great fighters that came out to that. And I was talking earlier about it. We did tryouts 3 years ago, and it's where we got Sam Shoemaker from, where we got Arnold Adams, our heavyweight champ, from, where we got Reggie Barnett from, where we got Travis Thompson from, all from our first tryouts. So there was about 4 or 5 guys that we thought were capable of being signed then. We did these tryouts, and we think we found 15 or 20 guys. It's just amazing the amount of talent that's coming out. And last but not least, it's going to be great stuff for our Bare Knuckle TV app. We have our own app. It's Bare Knuckle TV. It's all our library, all our programming, interviews, tryouts, different lead-ups, and also the Total Line Fight Series. It's a small fight series that we're going to start. It's not our fight series. We're going to work with local promoters around the country, and we're going to use them as kind of a feeder league for us. And the first one is going to be September 26th in Tunica, Mississippi. Again, live on the Bare Knuckle TV app. You have to download it. Go to bktvapp.com. It's only $3.99 a month. I mean, you don't even know you're spending the money, and you're going to get a ton of great content.
That's a smart move, I think, that you're starting sort of a feeder organization, because that's what happens with spring training. And it's been very successful, and I've covered the camps down here.
Absolutely. I think it's a great spot to really find some great talent from all around and to get the name out everywhere. I mean, people are looking at us when we were at this tryouts. Nate, he called me. I actually let my matchmaker, and he's actually going to be running Total Line Fight Series. Nate Shook. I let him run these tryouts. He was down there with Sean Wheelock and Chris Lieben. Chris Lieben is now with our company also. And, it's great to have those guys on board. But they said that people were like, thinking we were the next UFC, or we were UFC at this level. So it's tremendous that we're getting that kind of reception and that we're able to spread the news and spread the love everywhere around the country now.
COVID-19 has presented a challenging time for all of us, and not only in the U.S., but in the world. What has been the hardest thing for you to overcome as a promoter?
Honestly, Susan, it's just really seeing what's affected the world. I'm a different kind of person. I'm a real caring. A lot of people don't know me, but I'm a real caring person. I do a lot of charitable things and things like that. And to see what's going on in the world, it was hard. It was depressing for the first couple of weeks. And then I was like, wait a minute, we've got something special we're working on here. So let's grind down, keep our hands up and move forward. So what we did is it was a blessing in disguise for us as Bare Knuckle. We got a little time to reflect. We got time to refocus and to really come up with a great plan. And not only that, assembled an amazing all-star team. I mean, our team now is just sensational. I would put it with any other combat sports team in the world right now. And it gave us time to refocus and to really plan what we're going to do for the rest of this year and 2021. Obviously, the biggest challenge for us right now is just not having fans in the audience.
Right.
And although we are allowed to have some now, but not being able to be back where we were, that's kind of challenging. But at the same time, we're getting more viewers on our platform. So, it's a 50-50 mark, but it's been, it's just challenging just to see the country the way it is. And you go out to a restaurant, you go to pump gas or anything, and you have to wear a mask. People don't want to shake your hand anymore. It's a tough situation that all the citizens of the world are in. But I think we're all coming together. We're understanding that we can overcome really anything if we all stick together, and that's what's happening.
That's a great way to look at it, Dave. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know, because you said you were traveling today, if you had a chance to look at social media, but Wanderleis Silva is calling out Vitor Belfort. What do you know about this?
Yeah, I heard that there was a post made that about a fight card, but then it was deleted from Wanderleis' Instagram. So I think that it's something that they're working on, but I think it was a premature announcement. But, who knows what happens. It's actually, if they're going to do that fight, look, let's do that fight. Let's take the gloves off and do it where it needs to be settled. And that's something that we'll definitely talk about. Who knows what's happening? There's a lot of rumors flying around with Mike Tyson's involvement in a lot of different things. So, hey, it could be great. It was a stacked fight card that I saw. Rashad Evans versus Tito Ortiz, Fabricio Verdum versus, can't remember who he was fighting. Fedor Emelianenko.
Fedor.
And Wanderleis Silva versus Vitor Belfort. 3 superstar main events anywhere in the world. So if that fight does happen, I will be tuning in. That could be a great fight, but I'd much rather see them, take them gloves off and throw them out into the trash and step into the square circle.
I would love to see that. I've interviewed Vitor before, and he's quite dynamic. He lives down here in Florida. All right, so the press conference with Paige VanZant. No love lost between Jim Ehlers and Luis Baboon Palomino. When can we see them fight?
That fight's going to take place this year, November, December, 100% in Florida. That's going to be part of a superstar triple header card that we're going to have that will probably announce at the 9/11 event. So it's absolutely going to happen. That's fireworks written all over. These are 2 guys that don't know how to take a backward step. They both start right off. Hey, knuckle up. They start knuckling up. So that's going to be a sensational fight. And when we can announce the other fights that are going to be on that card as well, it's tremendous. It's going to be the best fight card we ever put on.
Really excited to see Paige VanZant and the Bare Knuckle family, and congratulations to her and you. When can we see her fight?
On that same card. So we're going to make an announcement. She'll be on it. Another great fight. Actually, probably going to have 10 great fights on that card, but she'll be on that card November, December-ish time frame. We're looking for some opponents that make sense for her. Obviously, we got to get her feet wet first. We can't throw her on the Lions yet, and build her up. And I think that she's going to do tremendous things with us. She's already done tremendous things for us, and I think she's going to do tremendous more things with us.
You know, Dave, I don't think I've ever asked you this before. I know you come from a boxing family, and they have a great reputation up in the Philadelphia area. But how did you transition into bare knuckle? Because you were also a fighter yourself.
Yeah, no, I was definitely a fighter myself. It's just something through talking to one of my really good friends and one of my former fighters, Bobby Gunn, who was a traveler, and he was a bare knuckle underground legend, and then he was a world title challenger in boxing. We talked about what he did with his heritage, with the traveler heritage. Now they would bet money on fights. And I just found it very, very intriguing. And they settled their family differences in fields. And I just checked it out, and I kept dove into it more and more and more. And I said, I have to do this. So I gave it a shot in 2011. We did a fight in Arizona, did tremendous, gave us the expectation that we could really turn this into something. And then 8 years later, knocking on a million doors, Brian Pedersen of Wyoming said, yeah, I see the same vision you see, and gave us a shot. And now here we are. 26 months after the inception of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship and being one of the most talked about combat sports companies in the world.
I want to know when the movie is coming out about your life story. Because it needs to be told.
We're actually, I have a production company out of LA that hit me up about a week and a half ago that we finally actually signed the letter of intent for it. It's a little bit about my background and how I grew up and into fighting, my brother, my father, and then how I turned this little, dream one night into what could be an elephant, right?
Wow. Well, I can't wait to see that. I think it needs to be told because I think your journey is inspiring, not only personally, but as a business owner, because you just never darn gave up. All right. All the fighters I've interviewed for the card on BKFC 12, everybody seems to want to fight Johnny Bedford. So who the heck is he fighting next?
He'll be part of that big announcement.
Okay.
He'll be part of that big announcement. He's someone I definitely didn't forget about. Johnny is a team player. I really like the guy, and I can't wait to see what he does next. Unfortunately, the pandemic hit us all pretty hard, and we weren't able to do the things we needed to do, and now we're back. And that's going to be one hell of a triple header card. So you pulled it out of me. Johnny Bedford will be fighting somebody on that card. Jim Allers will be fighting Louis Palomino, and Paige VanZant will be fighting. And it's going to be a tremendous card in the state of Florida.
I can't wait for that. You know, it's interesting because you've brought bare knuckle over here to the U.S., and I applaud you for that. This weekend, I was speaking to some fighters in London from both BKB 21 and Stu Armstrong's UBKB. And guess what they told me? They all want to come over here and fight for you guys. So what's this?
Yeah, we're going to have we have two great announcements this week with two UK fighters that we signed that are going to be fighting on our next couple cards. Really, really great announcements. Stu Armstrong's a good guy, and there's a lot of good guys over there. There's some guys I don't really get along with as well, but that's going to happen anywhere in the world. But I think that we're going to be a real force. Like I said, we started this just to do a fight and to see if we could get it legal, and then it turned into something. Then a couple of fights later, we said let's build a company, and then a couple of fights later, let's build an empire. And that's what we're trying to do. And by doing that, we have to go worldwide. So England is definitely in our vision. As soon as these travel restrictions open up, we'll be in England. We're going to be bringing guys over, but we're definitely going to do BKFC in the UK very, very, very soon. And, we love the fighters over there. They come to fight, and they appreciate this. And we're actually going to go back to Mexico. We're going to go down to Brazil. We have a big, big plan. Australia. If things go the way we want them to go and everything opens up, we'll probably do 3 or 4 international countries next year. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What about the next card, BKFC 13? I know we're still dealing with COVID, but any updates on that?
Yeah, that's going to be October 10th in Salina, Kansas. We're going to officially announce that any day, which I unofficially just announced it with you, but that'll be Joey Beltran against an opponent that will be announced when we make that announcement. It'll also be Nico Hernandez, Olympic bronze medalist on that card, and Dave the Caveman Rickles be on that card as well. It's going to be at a and I just signed a really terrific young lady out of Kansas, Laney Nations her name is. She's actually from Russia, and she came over here to fight. She's going to do tremendous things for us, so she's going to be on that card. And we got a lot of legends on that card, so it's going to be a great card. And then we're going to move into either November 7th or November 14th in Florida with a sensational card, and close out the year in December in a new state that we're going to open up that can't talk about yet because it's not signed, sealed, and delivered. But there's a lot of great things happening for us, and we're really, as a team, we're more motivated than we've ever been in our life. And thank you so much for your support, Susan. You've always been a big fan of what we're doing, always trying to help, and I really appreciate it. And we don't have any plans of slowing down.
Thank you so much, Dave. I don't know what I'd do without Bare Knuckle, because I always tell the fighters, and whenever I'm at the fights, if I could fight, I would, but I don't know how I do in that squared circle. Those women are pretty tough. I don't think I'd survive, but
I think you do a hell of a job of doing your shows. So continue doing your shows. I'll promote fights and let the fighters fight, and we'll all be happy.
Before we go today, is there anything else you want to add, Dave, please?
Really just download the BKTV app. That's going to really help us out. It's going to help the fighters out. It's going to really get us to a next level. We have another announcement that we're going to make with another platform, a television platform that we had a great call with. We have a reality show on Netflix that's in the works right now. We have so many things that are happening great for us. So I'm just really happy at the way the team is all molded together through this pandemic and through this trying time in the country and in the world, that we were able to see some really good positive things out of it. And we're coming through, ahead. We love it. The fighters are amazing. The team's amazing. The support from people like you are amazing. And I'm just telling you that we're doing bigger and better things. And 2021 is our real breakout year. We're taking over. We're not taking over. We're going worldwide in 2021.
All right, Bare Knuckle fight fans, BKFC 12 goes down September 11th from Daytona Beach, Florida, and features the debut of Thiago Alves, who fights against Phil Baroni. And Hector Lombard, as you just heard Dave say, nobody wants to get hit by Hector Lombard, returns to the squared circle to take on Kendall Grove. You can catch all the action on the BKTV app, which you can download. And we will be there bringing you all the beautiful bloody action. Tickets are on sale now on the BKFC website, bareknuckle.tv. Thanks to BKFC President David Feldman for taking the time to interview with Must Love MMA and Bare Knuckle News. I'm Susan Cingari. And remember, no one beats us to the punch. Help a girl out. Share this video, like it, smash the subscribe button, and leave a comment, because I read them all. Thanks for watching.